Floridians have had a horrific week, so we wanted to offer the Sunshine State, and especially its law enforcement officers, a ray of good news. A few weeks ago, the state's Republican legislature and governor took a break from the usual business of giving the NRA a reach-around to enact a life-saving health care reform.
Governor Rick Scott signing a bill this week that creates a coordinated system of care to better help state agencies and local organizations treat Floridians affected by mental illness and substance abuse.
This is huge. 1 in 5 of us experiences mental illness in a given year. But because it's not mosquito-borne, we don't treat it as a public health crisis. Florida's mental health care system has as many problems as their toilets have snakes. And while fixing it will be hard, breaking it was surprisingly easy.
In 2001, the state shifted care of the mentally ill to a network of nonprofits, then began cutting funding. Of the remaining state facilities, all 4 are over 100% capacity.
Good job! Hey, that governor should run for president. Jeb's successors, Charlie Crist and Rick Scott, cut nearly $100 million from the state's mental hospital budget since 2009. Money that Rick Scott presumably spent on live mice that he ate whole. So where are people in crisis supposed to turn?
A Lake County mother says her daughter's mental illness is a danger to her family and others, but she can't get any help from the states.
Right now, Florida is ranked nearly dead last in the country for mental health funding. Today, a mother told Channel 9's Lori Brown the only way to keep her 13-year-old daughter from hurting anyone is to press charges against her.
And while Florida police might find counseling teenagers more fulfilling than dodging bullets from legally purchased AR-15s, it's not what they're trained to do. And this problem is not unique to Florida, unlike manatee coke addiction, which is.
A person is 10 times more likely to be in jail than in a hospital if they're mentally ill.
In 44 states and the District of Columbia, the biggest mental health institution is a prison or jail because incarceration is America's default. It's our equivalent to always picking C when you don't know the answer on a multiple choice test. But contrary to common sense, it turns out we cannot cure people of mental illness by locking them in cages with hardened criminals.
80% of them get no treatment. And when you discharge them, they don't get treatment. And so they get involved in this revolving door.
That's right. And it's not one of those fun revolving doors like you see in YouTube videos. Arresting people with mental illness means that Florida spends nearly a quarter of its tiny mental health budget not on treating people, but on teaching them about the legal system so they can be deemed competent to stand trial. How? By sitting them down in front of videos like this, which I swear to the sweet baby Jesus, we did not make up.
Welcome to Trial and Error, the game show that helps you achieve competency to proceed. Go ahead and spin the wheel again. The wheel has landed on first-degree felony. What is the maximum sentence for first-degree felony?
The maximum penalty associated with a first-degree felony is up to 30 years in prison.
That is correct. Congratulations, Miss Faust. You are now considered competent to return to court and face your charges. And we'll see you next time right here on Trial and Error.
Next time? You're admitting that she's just gonna wind up back there. Most of these people are picked up on minor charges like loitering or trespassing, but the state spends millions of dollars making them watch bad actors play them.
Why don't we just start with what it is you're being charged with?
Well, murder.
Would that be a felony or a misdemeanor?
Trick question. This is Florida. If you are standing your ground, it's neither. But at least jail is cheaper than giving ill people the treatment they need.
It's a very, very expensive proposition to treat people who have mental illness in a correctional setting.
It's far less costly to intervene at the front end and link people with treatment. This is no different than providing humane, effective treatment to somebody who has a stroke.
Oh, come on. Everybody knows that when someone has a stroke, you arrest them and make them play game shows until you can put them on trial. It's called medicine, people. But several years ago, one judge in Miami thought there might be a better alternative to the revolving door. Instead of telling people with mental illness to come on down to jail, Lifeman created a diversion program that trains police to deal with them in non-confrontational ways and sends them to crisis stabilization centers for treatment instead of jail. And
Leifman's efforts have been credited with helping drop the jail population by 40%. So much so that the city was able to close down an entire jail last year, a savings of $12 million a year. And the percentage of people with serious mental illness who were rearrested for a misdemeanor fell from 72% down to 20%.
Plus, Miami made an extra $3 million, turning that empty jail into a water park. But again, fixing shit is hard. Despite proving that the Miami-Dade model worked and saved millions of dollars, it still took Leifman and his colleagues 8 years of praying. No, I'm sorry. 8 years of lobbying and educating legislators to convince them to adopt his reform statewide. The bill died in 2008 and again in 2009. In 2010, Governor Christ was just about to sign it when he was suddenly eaten by a gator and never seen again. But finally, after nearly a decade, Leifman's persistence paid off. So to anyone despairing of getting politicians to pass common sense reforms like, I don't know, say gun control, don't give up. Keep being annoying. And to anyone who thinks that guns are awesome and we just need to address mental health, what the fuck is stopping you? If Rick Scott can do it, so can you. We'll be right back.